in the top 4 and who is going to be eliminated out of the DreamLeague groups, man. It is tough out there. And Aster are currently in a dicey scenario where they're pretty much going even. And Gladiators, Avery, well, they're looking pretty hot. In fact, if they win this series outright, they would have, I think, a solid 8 wins. That's getting real close to being guaranteed.
That's too many.
That's too many.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. It's too many. You know, you got to.
Whoa, too many for Gladiators, or too many in general?
It's just too many, man. You don't want to win. You don't want to win that much. You're just gonna get cocky. You're gonna get complacent. You got to sprinkle a little more loss in there. You want to be right on that 7-7 mark. Play a tiebreaker. Get some momentum off that. Then oh yeah, now we're.
So you're saying Gaming Gladiators screwed up by winning Lima Major?
It was Quinn's biggest mistake. He should have kept playing with me and losing every tournament.
Yeah, well, I feel like with you, he had enough loss for a lifetime.
It was the hyperbolic time. The hyperbolic training chamber. But, you know, if I learned anything from Lima, it's that I talk about Quinn too much, so I'm not going to mention him in all this game. Instead, we're going to talk about the other big factors.
He who shall not be named.
Exactly. Even though a lot of this game is kind of dependent on that mid lane. I kind of want to see what Baboka does with Enchanters. I think Baboka, I've talked about before, he's a huge pivotal point for this Aster lineup, especially when he's on some of these weirder heroes that you don't consider 4s that he's supposed to be playing.
Yeah, they've been doing some weird stuff lately.
Yeah, so I'm looking at him secure Monet's early game on this Morph lane, maybe screw with Ace's game in terms of this Enchantress Beast interaction, and if he can ever go mid and skew this matchup, that's pretty damn nice, because this is a 100-0 matchup. Quinn looks like he's already suppressing a giggle here.
100-0.
Yeah, there's no way to counterplay this. You just get speared, and that's it. You got to take the spears and hope you make it up elsewhere. Somewhere out in the world, this is bringing me back to those Optic gaming days. I think PPD has shed a single tear. My boy has grown up.
Maybe he'll win a TI, just like his papa someday.
Who, Quinn?
Yeah.
I don't know about that one.
Effie said that she doesn't think that this matchup is as bad as it seems, and that the best Embers in the world do find a way out of it. I took that as her saying that if XWY loses this lane really badly, it means he's trash. So, some bold words, but I think there's something about Ember Spirit and that he just always kind of seems to do okay when it comes to getting out of lanes.
I think there are 2 matchups where if I sent Ember mid, actually there's a couple, but the 2 that come to mind where if I sent Ember mid and my expectations would be, bro, if you're level 3 at 10 minutes, I'll consider it success. That's Lone Druid and Huskar. Obviously, I'm a bit exaggerating there, but I think Lone Druid, Huskar, there's a Necro in there somewhere. These matchups, there is no counterplay. You are just going to get owned. It's a question of how owned do you get, you know? Are you 5 Cinder Blocks chained to your team? Are you 4 Cinder Blocks? You want to be in somewhere in like the 1 to 2 Cinder Block area, and then I think you have some playability. That's my rating from 0 to 5 stars.
How far up does the Cinder Block rating go?
10 blocks.
10 blocks? Okay. That's kind of what I figured.
I think that was
the high ground miss. That feels bad. First blood is still out on the table, so that would have been an excellent pickup. Celery still tries for it, but a little bit out of range there. Celery
might pay the price. There's a charge.
Yeah, has to use the Frostbite to stop XXS from running him over.
Waveform bottom, Monet looking to get some damage in. Tofu's got to be careful. You go for these double nuke builds on Mirana. Don't have that leap. Oh, I would have tanked that arrow. Send a message, you know.
Not taking my range creep.
That said, Ace got the helm, and he's pretty much free farming down here. I say pretty much, he is free farming.
Oh, he went for it! Monet gets the first blood.
Damn. And this is what you want to see out of this Enchantress lane. You want this lane to be winning to make up for what's going to happen mid, and also just shutting down this Beastmaster, really valuable.
Oh, God. Well, I mean, he's doing better than you suggested. He's already level 3, and it's only minute 4.
It's like 4 out of 10 Cinder Blocks.
Yeah.
By the way, for reference, you know, the full 10, I feel like that was the Huskar game we saw yesterday for Mikey. That was a rough performance. Yeah. But this is not going to be that Huskar game because you're guaranteed a super free laning phase.
Yeah. Whereas that one, what was the laning phase matchup? I don't remember.
Invoker.
Invoker.
Yeah, he got dunked on. That's a much harder matchup. Which is another reason why I feel like Baboka and Enchantress this game, as well as perhaps XSS Primal, have to set the early tempo in racking up the side lane pressure so that their cores come online between the Primal and the Morphling, and it can combat this Huskar in the mid game. Because this Huskar is going to be big, but Huskar is not just some auto-win hero, right?
Yeah.
We've seen plenty of people lose with this hero, and the reason you can lose is if that early Roshan gets delayed, or the cores can just man-fight you during your BKB timings. This hero can fall off.
Before he who shall not be named builds up too much power.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's, I recognize that story. Just got to find his Horcrux.
You're a Huskar, Harry. That's the one impression I'll do for the entire day. The rest are on you.
Okay, thank you.
I've learned nobody likes them, so I'm done.
I liked it, and that's all that matters.
And you like anything. Easy audience.
Rude.
Still, Monet is liking this laning phase. As he finishes up Tread, still has some regen left. Top of the net worth chart here. Despite the CS differential, just that first blood doing wonders. If Morphling gets fat, I feel like I do favor him this game. I think it's a pretty damn good Morphling game. I don't think there's much that actually stops him outside of the gaming cores just being so strong that he can't really 1v3. Primal and Ember damage is nice, but it's not doing a lot through Terrorblade BKB or the Primal Roar hitting the Morph. But if he gets like a good Scotty timing, he's just going to wait for him in and destroy this Huskar, and there's no real save.
What about the Terrorblade, though? How's that matchup go?
He's
exactly there. Yeah? Oh, okay. I mean, he is like the hard carry of gaming gladiators, so...
Terrorblade is definitely better versus Morph nowadays than he used to be in the shotgun era.
Yes, yeah, that's what I was thinking about.
This matchup's not that bad anymore. But I still don't think Terrorblade prevents Morphling going in and dealing with the Huskar if the game gets to that point in a Roshan clash. That's what I'm kind of looking at. And I don't think the Terrorblade is as terrifying for Ember Primal as this Morphling is for the other gaming cores. That's how I look at it too. Like, Ember Primal don't really care about Terrorblade. If anything, they're pretty good answers to it. You can get to the items. The downside is your Ember is not going to exist for a while because of mid.
Sure.
So you do lose that element. And Dyrachyo has also had a pretty damn good laning phase up here, pressuring the tower, taking it to Pichu. He is evaporated. He has had a very good laning phase. And this Catapult's just doing work up here, man. Half a tier 1 gone for this Primal. Oh, he's trying to get the kill. Turnaround.
Oh, XXS. Very bold move by him. 1v2 trying to get a kill on Dyrachyo. Doesn't end up getting it, though.
Man, these are some rough lanes for Aster outside of that Morphling.
Hit him with the slam.
Good luck.
Why did he pick up the Bruiser? Out of all the neutrals in the jungle.
Bounty.
Why that one?
Could have been the only one left on a camp.
Maybe.
Maybe some arrows came through. Probably killed the Frost Armor.
Oh, here comes. Nice.
Man, you're really into these random small things that nobody else cares about. It's
Yeah, well,
impressive.
I'm pretty sure that might be the first time in professional Dota anybody has used the Ogre Bruiser to any
there's been a
effect.
couple.
Dyrachyo's dead. Put him in the cage with the animal. That's a nice combo.
That's true. Cage match with the Beast himself. Not winning that one. And that's going to make up for what was happening on that lane, because that lane was not going that well. Now you're getting some momentum back on your Primal, who I think has to have a decent amount of momentum here to make sure you can enter these mid-game fights in good position. Quinn does have his Armlet online, looking to contest 8-minute rune, but Celery will take it. Says, ha! Finally a game I can take the rune away from you. How does it feel?
Tofu hops away. See, I want to see how much longer the Terrorblade exists in this top lane. Because I think getting a kill pre-level 6 on Primal Beast feels so good because it puts you up to get that level 6 a little bit faster. I think the early levels are so important on this hero to just kind of like keep the snowball rolling. I think that's a large part of where like Thompson's success with that hero playing at mid works, right? He gets the solo levels and he just snowballs off of it because if you can max out and get that 4-4-0 build,
It is very strong.
it's so much damage.
Only one leap for Tofu. He's probably gone.
Yeah,
He won't even use it.
He's goner.
So Monet continuing to push ahead of that Terrorblade, who does have to stay up here, I think, just because he doesn't want to go jungle too early. Quinn has been taking a lot of those camps around that upper dire jungle. which means if you leave lane as Terrorblade, you're just clumping the cores, giving the free solo XP to Primal, and you just don't have an anchor point up there to go back to. Whereas Ace has also been farming their triangle. They're trying to get stacks up for the Beast. Kind of classic Beast Arcane Boots gameplay.
Bobica does his best to try and disrupt it, but it's met by 3 heroes. So he only steals a small part of that. Man, Quinn is just greedy. He has the freest lane. He could keep playing in that lane, but instead he opts to take both the Terrorblade and Beastmaster's farm.
A greedy man. And Dyrachyo gets a freebie. Pichu...
A lot of freebies.
Said hello, and Dyrachyo said goodbye. Collects another creep in the form of the Goblin. I will say XWY did a decent job of playing this matchup. He never died. Yep. He gets an Arcane Rune at minute 10. He's level 7.5. He jungled pretty efficiently here on this Ember. He's only 1,000 behind.
Oh, it snagged him. And he didn't get off the Strength Morph. There's a possibility of a kill here with a Frostbite and Quinn's extra damage. Waveforms away to the side, and yeah, he's far enough away. He's good. Maybe if Ace could have gotten there in time, but Quinn using all of that farm to now put some pressure on the map. Looks like they're going to try and take that offlane tower.
Decent amount of space for this Ember to try and make something happen, or at least get a bunch of farm while he doesn't have to interact. You're just going to trade towers here. I feel like Aster are pretty happy if they can never trade towers in this game. Because the Beast, I think, is kind of inevitable in terms of the tower taking. I see that in... They're actually just not pushing bottom with this catapult.
Yeah, well, everybody left.
Ace just went to jungle.
There were
in the jungle.
4 heroes down there, and all of a sudden there's none. What's...
And in fact, XWY is just going to TP down here. Says, well, if you don't want to push it, I'll come collect the catapult and some extra creeps.
Surely that has to be an error.
I felt like Ace should have just taken it. You can send boars and stack triangle too. It's not like you're necessarily going to even miss the farm. I think this tower should be dead right now because I think Ember's very happy with how much space he's getting down here.
Yeah, and I think the Primal Beast could probably at some point in time go down there and fight if they think it's a good idea.
It's a decent fight point if you want to commit the cores. It's just a big question of where you want to commit your manpower because Quinn is invading your jungles. We saw he's going to take Baboka for free. You want to be finding trades right now with the Ember and the Primal. This is when they're pretty strong. Especially if you can force the interaction into the Terrorblade. That's a pretty big pressure point for gaming. It's just so much overwhelming spell damage. It kind of forces a response. Again, Dyrachyo doesn't necessarily have the most space to go to on the map with how greedy his other 2 cores are playing it. You can leave the Morphling alone, create some pressure. Gaming have to react. That said, they're probably happy to take these reactionary fights. It's kind of the nature of a Huskar lineup. Like, you can always force the enemy to deal with you because in general, Huskar is going to outfarm almost any other mid.
Oh, an opportunity here. Armlet toggle, and I forgot about that interaction. I've seen this one a few times. Huskar versus Primal Beast mid. And you just use the inner fire to keep him off of you all the time.
This tower's still up. Not denying it for XWY. But that might have
Point blank Frostbite, Freezing Fields, and that is enough. Really well executed by a Gaming Gladiator, sneaking up on him with the Moonlight Shadow.
See, that's why you leave that tower up. Because then they get baited back in the bottom and you get more juice out of that orange. Squeeze it for everything it's worth.
Getting a lot of pulp.
There is actually some truth in that. That some games you don't want to kill this tower because you want them to keep going bottom so you can get a kill point. There are some lineups that benefit a lot from having that happen.
That makes sense to me. But at the same time, I feel like...
I don't think this is one of those lineups. I'm just speaking.
Oh, okay. It is possible. Doesn't apply to this game, but it does. It is possible.
There's certain offlaners that prefer having that lane with a single hero in it, where they can keep playing the lane straight up and taking advantage of it and getting a kill, and leaving that tower up enables that because they can't necessarily use the super deep jungle from that tower going down. In this game, Beastmaster is a hero that generally can use that jungle very well.
Would you say Primal Beast on the other side is an example of that? Well, like, give me an example of a hero that would utilize that sort of trap.
I'll have to get back to you on that.
It has to be a hero that doesn't jungle super efficiently, which is, I guess, the problem with Primal Beast.
I think Primal could be an example of that. To me, I don't know if it's maybe about the hero.
Arrow coming in. Ooh, the hook shot. He actually tanks the arrow. XXS is going to go back into it. He really wants this kill, but the inner fire keeps him off once again. Bobica is going to try and cover XXS's exit here. And Gaming Gladiators won't be able to get more. Unfortunately, this Primal Beast has all the strength, but is unable to use it.
All right, you know what hero came to my mind? Going back to that discussion, because I do think it's an interesting discussion.
Yeah.
Viper. I feel like a lot of those Viper dual lanes, some of those lanes, they took the tower super early, and then Viper can't really go enemy jungle. It's very awkward for him to rotate mid, and then this guy's just farming really deep in the lane. You kind of lose your kill threat with the dual lane.
Yeah, but he's that deep. It's really easy to, like, you know, bring 3 heroes and kill him.
Like with the Viper Tusk lane, the Viper Clock lanes, when those are popular, you kind of want that tower to be there and the guy to feel like he has to keep going back because then you just keep killing him.
Right, yeah.
It's the ultimate honeypot. You just...
Once again, the Frostbite into arrow combination. Did the arrow not land? He's going to burn. He's going to jump through his remnant. Remnant dodge. There's too much. Ooh. It is too much.
I respect the attempt, but now he's out of remnant, so that might have not been worth it.
That arrow had to have snagged a creep.
Well, it was close. Ultimately, it doesn't end up mattering, though. This high-level Frostbite is proving very problematic for these cores.
Yeah, what I like about this game, the Gladiators have such a clear game plan, right? This kill combo of their heroes are just running around.
That creep was a hero.
Yeah.
Got aggroed into it. You got to aggro it the other way. That's the 1000 IQ play. But yeah, this kill squad's nice. And the thing is, they don't have to make too many moves because they're just kind of farming for their Helm of the Overlord timing, for this Terrorblade to get to the Scotty, Huskar to get to his BKB. And then they're just going to be happy forcing the Roshan here with Hawk Vision. And what is the contest from Aster? They just have to run the Primal in? That's a tough contest. I guess you have Clock. You can get some Rocket Flare Vision. There's some options here, but this Roshan is approaching very fast. Very, very fast.
I don't want to be too dramatic here, but I kind of feel like if Gaming Gladiators get this Roshan, the game might be too hard for Aster to win. So they're going to get another pick off here. That hookshot actually really good, and the waveform finishes off Quinn. Sure, Pichu loses his life for it. The stolen arrow goes out, but both Celery and Tofu managed to sidestep it. But with Quinn dead, I mean, this guy was the biggest problem on the map right now. They couldn't really fight into him.
Absolutely game-changing kill. It's so good for Monet to get this extra XP. I mean, they missed the tower hit, but they get the tower, and you're delaying that Roshan because that was Huskar BKB coming out. And another just chunking him.
Monet, he's got the killer instinct right now, man.
Like, this Morphling is strong. Like, this Linken's build in this game, they do not have control for him. This is why I feel like it's a very good Morphling game. And I think he has to continue being active here. The more Monet can get involved and shut down some of these gaming cores, it just buys so much space for December to catch up. And he has to keep catching up because he is half the net worth of his compadres here. And that is a rough place to be with a hero that is mostly designed around the snowball and the pressure that creates.
Yeah. Nova. Quinn not as eager to take the fights as he was before.
Flashback.
He does have BKB, though.
He does have it. This is generally where you want to force the issue. Helm of the Overlord up in 100 gold for Ace. That will probably be the signal to make the move. It's a question is Monet strong enough to combat that move?
Kishu's walked up that high ground a couple of times, and he's going to be caught once again. Hook shots over to the Morphling. Will be able to survive because of it.
And you got a beta out of that.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Again, you're just looking to delay this game, and another decent find on the map. Tofu. Utility Mirana just gets caught out by XXS. And some extra XP for XWY at the same time. Aster finding these little things that's tripping up the game flow for gaming. Remember, this used to be a 4 or 5K gold lead. We cut it down to 2, and that's not off any big team fight or objective. That's just Aster playing the map better right now, and gaming not getting to play their 5-man clump for that Roshan. Helm of the Overlord is up. That dragon will tell Quinn, I got your back, bro. Go hit that Roshan.
Okay, this is the true test for Aster. I think these small kills and stuff are great, but it only pulled the win percentage, for example, was over 80-20. But now they pulled it back down bit by bit. But this Roshan,
it's gonna have to
how they contest.
If you want to contest it, you don't have primal BKB, so either XXS is going in, Pichu's going in, or maybe Monet if he's bold enough. But it is dying fast, and the creeps are blocking a lot of the hook shots.
Yeah, they got a lot of ways to get into the pit. They're gonna go for it. Hook shot
that
was
was so
almost
close.
perfectly timed. Unfortunately, Quinn was able to get the Aegis just before that. Looks like Bobica's gonna die. They trade out support for that one, though. Aster, okay. They weren't able to stop the Roshan being done, but they do.
They'll take the fight.
Yeah, they get this Beastmaster kill. That's pretty nice. On their high ground, the arrow nabs them, but Game of Gladiators can't fight up in that choke point. That would be crazy.
Again, Aster finding some little things off the back of what gaming want this game to look like. It's another big kill to take this beast off the map. They get the maiden trade. Man, that hook shot was so good. Yeah. It's like in half a second difference, you maybe get that Aegis steal. Threading the needle on all these creeps as well. Not an easy hook shot at all. You even get the D-ward.
Almost has a Force Staff, which Force Staffs and Lincolns are going to be super important in this game. Man, look at those wards destroyed.
I mean, now this game is just about stalling. For gaming, it's about forcing the issue with this Aegis, getting to your next Huskar item, which is going to be the Halberd, trying to find some pickoffs with him if you can with the extra Beast Vision. Pichu staying alive. But ultimately, you do want to get this tier 1 mid if you're gaming. You want to get it soon and maybe even some tier 2 pressure with this Aegis. Which means for Aster, shove the lanes as far and as deep as you can. And don't respond unless you have to or you're very confident to take that fight. Scotty will be finished up for Dyrachyo. So another big timing to be hit here for gaming as he metas to try and chase XXS out of here.
Yeah, XXS is just going to be able to TP out successfully, so he killed his creep wave, so there goes that push. The push on mid is still successful, though, for Game of Gladiators. They get the tier 1. Where does Aster draw the line? How far is too far for Game of Gladiators to go? Like, should they be trying to hold a tier 2 to keep their outpost up, or is that impossible?
It's tough. I don't really feel like you want to just fight the tier 2s. I think it's high ground.
Okay.
You do have this double damage on XWI. That's kind of tempting to fight around this mid tier 2. Radiant mid tier 2 is a decent fight place. The bottom Radiant tier 2 is garbage. But the mid one is
a death trap.
Is okay. Monet's gonna force them TPs back here.
Yeah, he's gonna waveform. Has Manta too.
So this is nice play. As much as you can delay this, you're gonna be happy about it. Gaming are done messing around. They just want the fight. They are smoking up here right now.
Oh, XXS actually wants to go for this fight. Dyrachyo, if they could keep some sort of chainstone, it'd be nice, but where's the rest of the damage? Oh, the hookshot goes down. They finish him off just in time. That Sunder was so close to going off. A Manta dodge on Quinn as he tries to jump in. Stuck inside the freezing field, but he was already morphed to strength quite heavily, but they're going to be able to hit him with the roar, and that's good enough. XXS is going to be chased down. Honestly, they don't need the Terrorblade. They've got 2 different carries on the side of Game and Gladiators. One falls, but the other stays alive and kills most of Aster.
Just nice stun chain for gaming off the back that to finish that Morphling. He has waveforming too. If that arrow doesn't land, he gets out of there, and that fight's an absolute disaster. So a good smoke read to this Terrorblade. Barely not getting that Sunder off. It's still gonna cost you.
Little friends!
Oh,
Get
not
him!
so little.
Those are some big boys.
Whew. The Beastmaster, not the master of his own beast. And yeah, that shard pickup, it's gonna do some serious damage. You get caught off with it. Bots pickup for Quinn. Probably trying to deal with some of the split push that Aster have been proposing. I kind of like it. Still has Aegis for a minute here. The group up did get them a tier 2, got them a tier 1 top. Not the worst first Aegis I've seen.
I was going to say Huskar's decent catch, too, if you get the Aghanims build, but then I remember we have Lincolns on Monet, and XWY is going to get a Lincolns eventually, too, so maybe not. Well, then again, he has Heaven's Halberds. Could maybe
still gonna
with
be
Night
good,
Shadow, break the Lincolns, and then dunk on them.
You have to remember, you still have this Beast Aura, you have Helm of the Overlord, you have a Terrorblade in this game. The Huskar doesn't need to be the highest source of damage. He just needs to go in, cause some chaos, and be the high ground siege mechanism. And the rest of his lineup can clean up when Aster commits to that fight. This Ember is just still so far behind in this game. It's brutal. This lane matchup is just brutal.
look at Boboka's inventory. Does that remind you of anything?
Despair?
No, Necronomicon.
He's still trying to build it a couple patches later.
I saw that. I did a double take. I was like, what? He's got a belt of strength on him.
He wants some more little friends.
Ooh.
gonna join the party.
As many as he can get. So the Aegis is gonna pass away here. So they managed to get 2 tier 2s.
Pass away. It's like, sounds like someone died.
Yeah, we're gonna vary it up a little bit. I mean, it does represent a life.
Stolen life.
Stolen in Roshan's heart. Coming up the high ground, Aster. See who's gonna get caught here. Gets down to low ground. They do manage to get vision of him for the Primal Roar, so that's the pick off. They actually get Bobica as well, so Gaming Gladiators, a smoke back that gets the 2 supports. I'm sure they would have loved a core kill, but still not too bad.
And they had Terrorblade illusions on all 3 lanes. 1 illusion bottom, 1 illusion mid, pushed both in, and then Dyrachyo sends another illusion cutting this top wave. So really good map control coming out for Gaming while they make this move. These small things add a lot of effective net worth when you make these clumped up smokes. Because if you miss, or even if you hit a random support, and you allow Aster to get the other lanes out, these moves are often not very good. But when you have so many summons with the Beast, you have the Hawk Vision, you have the Terrorblade illusions.
The Dragon Cannon.
You do it properly, it adds up. And yeah, 8K gold lead.
What do you think about XXS's double boot build?
We've seen a lot of the primals doing it. I think Whisper does it every game.
Yeah, he does.
Just feels good, I guess. Like the extra boot move speed, and then you just build it into the bongo so you can join the band. Why not? There's a little bit of wasted gold, though.
Yeah, I mean, I would say it's a decent amount of wasted gold. I always look at it, and I feel like unless there is a debilitating slow on the enemy team, I'm not sure if it's worth it. But, you know, they got Crystal Maiden. There's also, like, the Primal Roar secondary slow.
What if we added recipes to combine boots into mega boots? There's an idea. Here's a better idea.
What would you call it?
Going high ground. I don't know. I'd call it the Big Shoe.
All right, that's a pretty good name. I was thinking boots of everything, but the Big Shoe is so much more intimidating.
I mean, can you imagine your offlaners call it, guys, I almost have Big Shoe. It's time to go. That's a free range tracks. No contest here. And that's without the second Aegis.
The Big Shoe actually adds a cosmetic. It's like the Mario boot. You know what I'm talking about?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Old school Mario, where he has he actually has the boot upgrade, where he's just inside a giant green boot.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Twitch chat knows what I'm talking about.
No, they don't.
Yes, they do. Because they're all boomers, just like me.
Nobody likes you, Captain.
My mom likes me.
She just lies.
Oh no. She told me. She always told me that I was her favorite child. I'm an only child.
Should have taught you everything you needed to know about life right in that moment. As Aster have learned everything they needed to know about Ember versus Huskar in this game.
That's not good.
It is punishing them very hard as they have yet to take a real 5-on-5. How are we going to see it? Has Quinn even had to use his BKB once this game? All right, he has. He used it twice. But it doesn't feel like he needed to.
Where are you going?
The split push continues, but
It's
split push
only
gets you so far.
28 minutes in.
Yeah.
It feels like 40.
Why?
I mean, probably just because not a whole lot's happening. Mostly because Gaming Gladiators were winning and kept winning, and I don't see an end in sight for Aster, honestly. What is the end in sight for Aster? What are they hoping for?
Ultra late game here. The Lincoln Spears let them split push. You eventually get your Ember back online.
So you just got to stay alive for like 30 more minutes?
Yeah. What's wrong with that?
That sounds like a Herculean task, but
Radiant's courier has been killed.
I've seen worse. You're only down 10k. If you get a good high ground defense fight, get some little friends going, your Morphling chunks the guy who's hitting the tower. I can see some comeback potentially here. It's not easy.
Well, I don't think Game of Gladiators is going to go for that high ground until they get second Roshan, so we're going to have probably a little bit of time here.
I mean, you just need the Scotty on Morphling, and then I think you probably rather contest the Roche than the high ground defense, because honestly, their high ground defense is kind of trash.
Yeah, it's not good.
It's just going to be Beastmaster units sieging with an Aegis hero, and I Don't think you can really wait for him in and take that fight. So the Roach contest might be better with a Clockwork player. You make it really weird. You hookshot somebody. Maybe you smoke flank around, jump supports with the Morphling.
Plus, like, their strength in a team fight is their mobility of their heroes and dancing around the Terrorblade, right? When you are constrained to defending your buildings, I feel like that's actually bad for Aster.
It's rough. The auras are just going to be way too good for gaming here. They have a full-on Guardian Greaves on Tofu building in towards that pipe. You, of course, have the Beastmaster auras and the Helm of the Overlord plus the drum. It's a lot to combat when the gaming just get to clump like that and hit a single target. Shard and Aegis will go to Quinn here. So he has that extra inner fire. Slow heal.
Well, they did not contest the Roshan, so that leaves...
high ground defense time, boys.
Well, I was going to say trying to rat. I think it might be a better idea to see if you can find some way to trade.
That's ideal. Yeah, I just don't know if you can do it.
Yeah.
And maybe gaming don't care. The only trade is really Monet threatening the base. But even if you're in that scenario, I think you can just trade, and I don't think you care if you're gaming.
Yeah.
Like, you're not going to go back.
Gaming Gladiators are probably going to do twice as fast.
I mean, this is a game-ending push. If you lose this fight, they're just going to throw on you. They have Ags on Quinn. He is mega farmed right now. Not to mention, Doraccio finished BKB, Manta. On top of Elven Tunic, he has Evasion on this Terrorblade. This is an absolutely terrifying fight. I don't really know who you try and burst here. Probably a Crystal Maiden if you can find her.
You know, it's never
morale points.
It's never a good sign when your analyst is like, I don't know what they do for this fight, because you have all the information of being an observer and sitting here and thinking about it. What, like Aster, I'm not. It is so much harder when you're in this situation to come up with a solution, I think.
I think you hook shot somebody and you double aggressive force staff them in.
Okay.
And then
an idea.
That's the start.
Okay. They're going to go for it. The Terrorblade. Oh, no, we got off the BKB. That's troublesome. Now they have to be able to reset. XWY does still have his double damage, so he can kind of poke at them. The Sunder's going to be used on Celery in the back lines. Taranchu back up to full health.
You got to chase him here. You got BKBs out, but you got to get something off this double damage Ember.
Yeah, no BKB. Meta is going to expire soon, so maybe time to smoke up and just see if you can take something.
I mean, they don't have primal BKB, but I feel like if you just let gaming reset here with this Aegis for another high ground siege when meta's back up, it's just going to be too brutal.
Well, let's see what Aster does. Do they play for the win, or do they play to survive? Playing for the win would be going out and trying to actively take a fight against Gaming Gladiators, see if you could maybe take away the Aegis or something. Playing to survive would just be trying to hold another high ground defense.
They're not even ratting that much either.
No,
I feel like they want to fight, but
I mean, they have
question of how do you get it? This is still into Aegis, though. That's the issue. And Quinn kind of knows if they go on him, the fight's probably good for his team. Gaming don't really want to take a fight without meta, so there's a 50-second downtime here. But that said, I think Quinn is still going to be happy to take the... What is happening mid? Oh, you missed it. He was frozen in the dance animation.
Who, the Terrorblade?
The Huskar. You know when he leaps and the target he leaps on dies and he gets stuck midair?
Oh, yeah.
It's a good time. You should have been there.
Sad I missed it. Butterfly? I mean, that is the ultimate timing item pickup right there.
It's the
That
game ender.
says, I am ending the game right now.
And Quinn can bots to the push. So when he's looking for these freebies, it doesn't necessarily mean gaming are committed with everybody. Just pop the clock and run down a lane. Why not? You have meta back up. You have this butterfly. I don't think you need to wait for next.
Look at XWY. He's like, I got to push in this lane, but this illusion was standing there, and it takes him so long to deal with it.
And the thing is, he can just get blink roared off a Lincoln's break if he's not careful.
Yeah.
You can also just get arrowed. These pushes are terrifying, but it is coming to you regardless here, as gaming want to go to game 2 with a dub. Aegis still up for 50 seconds, cannot focus his Huskar too easily. Who are you going to choose instead?
Got him with the center. Oh, arrow. Quinn's to dunk on him. He immediately gets grabbed by the Primal Beast. They look to try and finish up that Aegis, and they do manage to do so, but it cost them a lot. It cost them the BKB on XWY, their tier 3 tower, and the Enchantress. There's still this big Terrorblade to worry about. That's just a full set of racks, and Gaming Gladiators are going to keep it going.
This is your last fight. You've got to kill this Huskar somehow. I pray they have a better idea than I do, because I don't see how to win this fight.
It just looks like they're going to give up Megas. Hookshot goes in now. Pichu goes for the pushback there. Lincoln's blocking what it can. Quinn does get drug in pretty deep here, but he might be able to get the Morphling kill still, as he's stunned up for so long thanks to that arrow hit. Needs to be able to wait for him away, but he couldn't. Get dunked on a second time, and GG. I mean, this game, for the last... the laning phase was...